Welcome to Discover Marshalltown. Kyle Martin hosting, and it's been a while since we've done this show, and we always do an Oktemberfest episode, and with me is the president of the Oktemberfest this year, is Duane Dixon. Hi, nice to meet you.
You too.
It's good to get you on this particular program, and I guess, how did you become the president of Oktemberfest, first of all? Were you on other committees before you did this then?
I don't know if you remember back when we had Marshalltown Young Professionals.
Sure, oh yeah.
I originally got involved with that, and then from there I got involved with the helping out and operating the bar for the concert Saturday night, and then kind of gradually moved from there into taking over that particular event, and then got added to the board and moved my way up from secretary to vice president. And
you ascended to the throne.
And now this year I'm president. So
very cool. So describe to me what the president does. You just do you oversee everything from the most minute detail all the way up to the biggest?
Sort of. At least the way I've taken it this year is delegated certain tasks to the individual committee members, let them run with their own events, but still having the overall view of what everything's going on, trying to make sure certain deadlines are met as far as like the marketing and making sure everyone's on track.
Yeah.
Making sure our websites are up to date, even though I've kind of dropped the ball a couple of times myself.
There are a lot of moving parts. In all fairness.
Yeah, there is. You compare it to like the Art Fest or some of the other events through the summer with 13th Street, and this one's kind of like one of theirs, only 4 days instead of a single day.
Yeah.
So there's a lot more to it.
Yeah.
And a lot more to keep track of.
Most definitely. We are on Main Street in Marshalltown, downtown Marshalltown, and Oktemberfest moved last year due to the tornado, the damage downtown. Downtown's starting to bounce back pretty well. We're starting to see a lot of recovery down here. A lot of things are getting fixed up, and we thought, why not, Duane? Let's bring the parade, right? And most of the festivities back downtown.
Yeah, pretty much everything's going to be back downtown. We did not bring back the 5K this year. That was one of those events that just kind of a combination of things that we decided it was best to cancel it for this year. And then next year we'll reevaluate and see if we want to bring that one back. We've got a couple different new events this year that we're adding to the kids' night in particular. We're bringing back the car hop, if you remember, if anyone was out at the Central Iowa Fairgrounds last year for that. We're bringing back that. We've got the car show itself Friday night, and we're bringing back live music Friday night as well during that. And then Saturday night we'll have the car hop and concert for Saturday. Okay. And then the motorcycle show will be Sunday. Right. And then we've got several other events added throughout the weekend. Well,
we'll delve into the itinerary, the lineup a little bit more during this show. There are a lot of I shouldn't say little, but there are a lot of committees that help make up Oktemberfest. Maybe you might want to highlight a few of them. I mean, I think the parade and the entertainment, the advertising, like you mentioned, those are committees in and of themselves.
Yeah, we've got the motorcycle committee or show committee. We've got the finance committee, treasurer. Kids night for Thursday night is its own committee just by itself. We've got the band for the school bands that go through the parade. The parade is a committee by itself. The food vendors, coordinating all the food vendors that we have.
Forgot about those, yeah.
And then we've got marketing as far as radio and television. The music committee, just part of both Friday and Saturday nights. We had tried Saturday afternoon a couple years ago, and it was just trying to figure out what fits best, and figuring out what the budget works or how that works best. And then we've got a couple new people that are trying just to fit in and figure out where they're going to take over. And so that's kind of the most of them. And then mine, I got the beer tent, so it's kind of one of the important ones as well. So it's just kind of figuring out, everyone kind of covers their own, and it kind of all comes together at the end.
Yeah. So. You know, I think we've gone several minutes in this interview, Duane. I don't think we've even mentioned when Oktemberfest is.
Actually, it is next weekend from Thursday through Sunday, September 26th through the 29th.
Okay. What's the theme this year? And I like the idea behind it. Tell me the theme and the reason why the theme.
The theme is looking through rose-colored glasses. Our diamond sponsor is Wolf Clinic. They are celebrating their 100-year anniversary this year. And we've also got the 50th anniversary for the Rose Parade, or for the high school band that went to the Rose Parade 50 years ago, that are celebrating their anniversary. So it was kind of a combination of both of those that we eventually came to this one idea for the theme.
That's a great...
It was a play on words and kind of incorporated both of them.
No, it's a great idea. Have you heard, you know, kind of through the grapevine, Duane, how excited people are to have the festivities back downtown? I mean, I've heard kind of a groundswell. You know, a lot of people are kind of talking about it behind the scenes, but there's a genuine excitement to have it back downtown.
I think generally from what I've heard so far is it's one of those events that it just has to be downtown. It's always been there. It's been going on for 30-some years.
Right.
Officially incorporated, and found out we incorporated in '94, but it's been going on in some form for a little over 30-some years. So
wow,
it's a tradition in Marshalltown.
Yeah, most definitely. Let's talk about the music, the bands, if you wouldn't mind, because some people come just for they'll come from, you know, surrounding communities just to hear the entertainment. You want to maybe hit on some of the bands?
Friday night we're going to bring Grand Marshal in for the main headliner. They're a local area band. More, I'd say probably classic country, classic rock type highlights. And then Saturday night, if you remember from 2 years ago, we had the band One. They're a Metallica tribute band, and they brought down the place, and so we were able to get them back this year, and really excited to see them come back. So
it's getting a little windy out here where we are. You may notice our hair is moving a lot. But One, the Metallica tribute band, actually endorsed by the band Metallica, right?
Yes, they're actually endorsed and supported. So they've got their entire show, and right down to the wire. I mean, right down to the exact details.
That's pretty amazing.
Had one friend of mine make a comment on Facebook a couple years ago after the show that if you just closed your eyes and just listen, it sounded just like them.
Exactly. So that's really cool. That's great. So the bands where are they going to be playing?
They're going to be actually we're going to have a stage set up on South Center Street, and be right in the middle of the block pointing north toward Main Street, and then we'll have the beer garden kind of surrounding that, right between the buildings and the perimeter fence around the courthouse grounds. Okay. And then we'll have the carnival on this side, or on South First Avenue, and food vendors right along Main Street.
Okay. So that's kind of the makeup of kind of the layout of the land of where things are going to be downtown. The parade, I know that people usually start congregating at Miller Middle School.
Right.
That's kind of where they meet.
That'll be one of our main staging areas.
And eventually they make that. We're actually literally at kind of the finish line.
Yeah.
Down here on 2nd, right?
Yep. 2nd Avenue is basically the end of the parade.
That's kind of what I thought.
Officially, it runs from 9th Street to 2nd Avenue.
Okay. Is there anything we need to know about the parade in regards to catching candy, throwing out candy? We always have kids that go gaga over the parade, and you know, we don't want anybody to get hurt.
Right. our guidelines are basically if you have candy that you want to give out, have someone walking or along both sides and handing it out. That way you're not throwing it and throwing it where kids are going to be running out into the street.
Yeah.
So actually hand it out instead. So
we don't need anybody going out in front of.
We've had injuries, or some people get injured. Something else, we'll have the local Sea Cadets helping out to keep people back. We do have several of the larger bands that do need the full width of the street, so try to be sure to give them enough room to be able to actually go down the street.
Yeah.
And then we have certain parade floats that are a little bit bigger, so as they're turning corners, be aware that they're a big item, so they've got a large turning radius.
So Duane, in regards to the parade entries, we typically get over 100, right?
Right. So far we were, I think, right around the 60 mark, and we're still expecting several more. So we usually get that big rush in this last week,
right?
Kind of the last minute.
Obviously, we're outside on Main Street. This would be a good place to take a break. We are doing a live episode here of Discover Marshalltown outside, visiting with Duane Dixon. Thank you! Visiting with Duane Dixon. He's president of the Oktemberfest committee. I think he yelled back to me. We're going to take a commercial break, and we'll be back with more Discover Marshalltown right after this.
Wait. Put your seatbelt on. Oh. Buckle up. Arrive alive.
Welcome back to Discover Marshalltown. Kyle Martin. We are at the Gallery Garden. That's where we're at today. We're outside, and we're actually in the physical location where the Oktemberfest parade is just going to end, right here on 2nd Avenue. Duane Dixon is joining me. He is president of Oktemberfest. And let's go ahead, Duane, and talk a little bit about the parade again before we went to break. Not too late to get an entry, though.
Right. We're still taking entries. We'll probably take those until middle of next week. So if nothing else, get a hold of Stephanie Anderson, and her contact info is on the website. And if not, at least send your parade entry form in, and we'll make sure that we get you on the list.
Yeah, let's talk about the website, because there's a lot of information.
Right. Oktemberfest.com. It's Oktemberfest.
You don't want to go to like Pennsylvania's Oktoberfest or something like that.
Yeah, and if you do, or if you look for it, as long as you spell it as Oktemberfest, not Oktoberfest, there is a difference.
We're okay.
Right.
If you do it that way, we're all right.
Right. We've got all the highlights. We'll be adding the schedule of events probably today or tomorrow, or at least yet this week. Most of the events, as far as the individual days, are highlighted by the day. There's individual tabs. And then we've got volunteer links on the forums tab. So all the events, if you want to volunteer for a specific event, we're using Sign Up Genius to actually sign up for individual time slots. And then you can see who's available, and if you want to work with somebody, you can sign them up as well. And it's pretty straightforward. Yeah. So
volunteers are at a premium. Do you have enough volunteers? Obviously you don't.
Yeah.
I mean, you need
we're always looking for volunteers. We're also looking for committee members. If you'd like to get involved as far as a planning committee in particular, we're always looking for those as far as committee or board members. Eventually get your feet wet as a committee member, and then later on get involved as a board member.
President.
Yeah, eventually you can work up to president.
You become this guy.
Yeah.
You start out small, you never know. You're working funnel cakes 1 year, next thing you know, you're president. I love doing the shows outside. You never know what's going to happen. Wind, motorcycles.
Yeah, and we got a little, pretty much everything going on right now.
We got everything going on. Discover Marshalltown is the name of the program. Duane Dixon is our guest. Let's talk about parking in and around downtown for Oktemberfest. Obviously, we have the municipal parking lots.
Right. We've got all the local city parking lots that are available. The main locations that we're going to have closed down for the weekend, starting on Thursday afternoon, will be roughly from 3rd Avenue to 3rd Street, and between Church and State Street.
Okay.
So pretty much the 6 blocks of the downtown area.
Okay. And like you said, the Sea Cadets are going to be helping out with a lot of the traffic and the movement of the parade. In years gone past, I've seen people, they're shocked when they come to a street and there's a barricade. You know, folks, don't go around the barricades.
Right.
It was kind of a tough deal. I remember a number of years ago when we did have the 5K going through here, because people were they were getting in with the actual race sometimes.
Right.
They were interrupting runners. Now without the race this year, it's not, that's not as big a deal, but still.
Yeah, there's still traffic issues.
Yeah.
During the parade is probably one of the big ones, because all the side streets on both sides of Main Street, from 9th Street all the way to 3rd Avenue, will be closed. And then around Miller School, we'll have that blocked off over to or along Church and parts of North and South 9th Street, right around the Main Street area.
Okay.
And then Main Street, I think we closed down all the way over to the school.
Very good. Duane, we kind of talked before we went to the break in the first segment kind of about the itinerary of events. Maybe we could kind of hit on those again. Like, hit maybe day by day some highlights, if you wouldn't mind.
Okay.
Like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and even wrapping it up on
okay,
kind of run through maybe some key events.
Right. Thursday is the big one for Kids Night. We've got the Little Miss and Mr. pageant. The carnival starts Thursday as well. We're doing a kids and family color run. Since we're not doing the full 5K. We're bringing back the big wheel races, if you remember those.
Oh yeah.
We're including or bringing an aerialist, trapeze artist.
Cool.
For Friday night. The carnival will continue on Friday and Saturday and Sunday. Merchant crafters will start Friday evening and run through Sunday. Food vendors will be each night. The classic car show is Friday, with the car hop on Saturday. Grand Marshal is our headliner for the Friday band, with one being on Saturday night. The parade is Saturday morning from 10 till roughly noon. Car hop will be Saturday evening, starting at 5. And the motorcycle show will be on Sunday, along with the carnival.
Woo! It's a family event, right?
Right. Family event. It is a pet-free event, so please leave your pets at home. For Friday and Saturday night, no outside alcohol, so please observe the local ordinances for that. As far as the car show and car hop evenings, after the car show in particular, the local police department has asked not to squeal your tires, so we'll be reminding car entries not to do that. Couple other things. It is a non-political event, so be a good way to at least not have.
We're not going to have a bunch of presidential candidates.
Right. So if you are a political candidate, just please observe that it is a family event. It's just one of those things.
Right.
And I think I got all my highlights.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about the planning of Oktemberfest, because I'm guessing I don't know because I've never been on the committee, but I've been here for, in town for now. Obviously, they don't know about the squealing the tires.
Right.
I've been here for 16 Oktemberfests. When this is done, do you guys reconvene and then start talking about next year?
We'll reconvene for one meeting probably in November, do a wrap-up meeting, give everyone a break for a couple weeks for the month of October, but then we get started for the next year, roughly February or March.
Okay.
And then meet once a month, and then toward the summer we'll start meeting twice a month, and then last month we'll meet every week. So the closer we get to the event, the more frequently we end up and have meetings.
So like when in that timeline do you guys decide what committee you're going to be part of? Because I would think the sooner the better.
Pretty much everyone comes into it as a board member and kind of predefined with one that you kind of run year to year.
Yeah.
And focus on those. And then as you rotate into the secretary, vice president, and president, then you take on additional roles.
Sure.
And then everyone just also helps out with everybody else. So you're not assigned to just one committee and you're the only person. It's the team effort.
Right, absolutely. Oh gosh, an undertaking like this takes a lot of people.
Yes.
How many, off the top of your head?
We've got 14 actual board members, but we probably use over 100 people throughout the weekend as far as volunteers, and we can always use more. So
easily,
if you want, just come down and we'll make sure you can help out with something.
We'll find a place for you.
And if you do get signed up on the Sign Up Genius, we'll get you or have a t-shirt reserved for you.
Okay.
So we've got those for at least until or as long as supplies last.
While supplies last.
Right.
Yeah, famous last words.
Yep.
Make sure we get that disclaimer in there. Duane Dixon is our guest today. He's president of Oktemberfest. Now, let's go ahead and let's give the dates again in case anybody missed the very beginning and they don't want to go to your website and they have no idea when Oktemberfest is.
Right. Thursday, September 26th through Sunday, September 29th.
Okay. And again, majority of the activities, the lion's share of almost everything associated with Oktemberfest is back downtown.
Right. It'll be pretty much all Center Street, Main Street, and South First Avenue.
Very cool. Let's talk a little bit, and we'll wrap it up here. Let's talk about the theme again, because I know people really look forward to finding out what the theme is every year.
Right.
And you guys, I know you work hard on this. You certainly try to make it Marshalltown centric. It has something to do with our wonderful community. Let's go ahead and talk about the theme and why you came up with the theme.
Right. The theme is looking through rose-colored glasses. We came up with the theme because Wolf Eye Clinic is celebrating their 100th anniversary this year and is our diamond sponsor. And then the 1969 high school band is celebrating their 50th anniversary for performing in the Rose Bowl parade that year.
Yeah, well, it's a great idea. You know, we greatly appreciate you coming on down here to this beautiful facility and braving the wind and the squealing tires and the elements. It's good to get you here on Discover Marshalltown. Duane, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. All right, Kyle Martin, that's going to wrap up our show today. Everybody enjoy Oktemberfest, and we'll talk again soon.